Yeah. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Broke on advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Traded in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Joggle beat. OnChain revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gon' end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain revolution, here to stay. Yeah, Sam Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the spec. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee down. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin and crypto ecosystems. What is up, guys? An amazing show for you guys today. We're live on the OnChain Hour, and this one is going to be absolutely awesome, guys, because I got my man, Connor OnChain. If you guys that have not been following, Connor's been all over my timeline for last year, right? I've been talking to him in DMs. This guy, he's always really on top of what's going on chain. And that's why, you know, when I heard Yagobi was going to be out, I was like, gotta get Connor on. I'm excited to get his take on a lot of different things, a lot of stuff we don't normally talk about. Connor is really big in the Tau. He's really big into a lot of different DeFi. And like, you know, before I got into ordinals, I was huge in DeFi, right? I was studying it like crazy. I was trying to find different concepts, but then ordinals came along and it really took a lot of my attention. It took a lot of my time. And, you know, with the show, Ordinal Revolution, it was really kind of strict to staying to ordinals. But now we're OnChain Revolution. We're able to onboard people to OnChain. And what that means is we're kind of going after the people I call level 1 crypto guys. That's the guys on Coinbase, the guys on Binance and stuff like that. The guys who really haven't come on chain yet. And that's the whole concept of the show. That is the education level that we're trying to push here, bringing people on chain. And if that chain is Bitcoin, so be it, right? But definitely want to check out a lot of other chains as well. So without further ado, let's bring in Connor. Connor, welcome to OnChain Revolution. Thank you so much, man.
Hey, man, thank you for the intro, and I appreciate you having me on. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Thank you, sir. For the people who don't really know you, could you give a little background?
Yeah. So my name's Connor. Currently, living in Florida right now. I got into crypto about 4 years ago during the, I don't want to say it, get demonetized or anything, but during 2020. Made a lot of money in the last bull run, lost a lot of it. And then this bull run, you know, we're here, got the YouTube channel, and it's been history since.
Yeah, man. What kind of content would you say you make?
That's a great question. I like to focus on a lot of content, I guess, based on, you know, looking for undervalued coins, undervalued narratives, just where I think attention is going to be flowing next. That's kind of like where I love to focus my attention, is just where attention isn't.
Yeah, that's actually really good. the way of thinking, because when everyone's talking about something, maybe it's not the time to go there, right? Like for instance,
Yeah.
like last week there was the big base thing. I'm sure you heard about it. With it
Oh
was
yeah.
like bases for everyone, and the
Yeah.
coin ran to 17 million, dropped down to 400,000, came back up to 12 million, and I was sitting there and I got FOMO a little bit, and I
I
FOMO'd
know.
in
Yeah.
like 12 million, right? And now it's back down to 5. But like, if you're able to find stuff like get into it, something like now where no one's really talking about it, and then you're still bullish on that type of stuff, that's kind of what your content is, finding the stuff before everyone else runs into it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I think it's important in many ways to I guess, yeah, focus on that aspect, because in crypto, I think it's very much so an attention economy, you know, and if you can find where attention is going to flow next, usually it's going to be a higher risk bet because no one knows what's actually going to happen next. But if
Yeah.
you take calculated risks, find what's next or what's going to be next, I think that's where a lot of the highest ROI can come from in this market. Is kind of front running attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I would ask you, what do you think is next? What would you say? What would you say the next, like, let's say Bitcoin runs to 110, right? Obviously, right now the focus is all on Bitcoin, but where do you think people's attention kind of goes within the next 2 months?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for me, I've been almost calculating like what would be potentially the next narrative or chain. And for me, it's really come down to a couple of things. I'd say if we're talking about overall narratives, I think RWA, even potentially DeFi based stuff, could be next. DeFi really hasn't had a run, at
No,
least
it
this
hasn't.
cycle. Yeah, RWA hasn't done too much. I think obviously everything ran 2023 into 2024. But I think RWA, especially with such institutional demand in the market, hasn't truly seen its real run yet. I think RWA has a high probability of becoming a front narrative. AI, of course, I think is going to be huge. Something I'm really liking though is physical AI and robotics within crypto. It is a very interesting narrative that's not a narrative yet. Um, there's only maybe a handful of coins that are doing anything remotely in that space, but I think there will be a moment in time where a chat GBT moment happens for robotics, whether it's Tesla dropping their humanoid robots or a couple of these other major robotics companies, doing something to spark all this, people questioning like, oh, is robotics like a thing? And I think Nvidia itself has made it clear that that's kind of where they're going to be focusing next after, AI agents, stuff like that. I think that's a same thing. I think it's a high risk area, but very high potential to become something, if we do come back and hit really strong. Um, but third, I would like to say is BitTensor for an ecosystem. I think BitTensor, and they call it dynamic tau or alpha
Yeah.
token, I think are going to be in demand very hard, probably sooner than later. So I think BitTensor is huge.
Yeah, I agree. I was telling my like normie friends when it was $1.90, $190. I was like, yo, like this is
Wow.
an
Yeah. Yeah.
opportunity of a lifetime, because in order for these dynamic tau tokens to work, you have to actually take tau and stake it, right? Like in
Yeah.
reality, like all these tokens are staked tau and a validator that's basically giving
Yep.
you a receipt for that stake tau. Like that's all it is. And
Right.
if
Yeah.
let's say 40% of the tau gets locked up in these tau tokens, these dynamic tau tokens, the alpha tokens, I mean, that's 40% of the tau potentially locked forever. Like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, and then you're getting more and more every single day. Well, every couple days, you're getting more and more subnets coming online. And I mean, we're
Yeah.
up to 100 now. I think when I first saw it, we were at like 64. I think Chutes was like one of the
Yeah.
newest ones, right? And it's just been subnet after subnet, and then some of them come out and they're super bullish, and then they get dropped, right? And then,
Oh yeah.
but
It
the best
is.
part about holding the subnet tokens is you're earning the whole time because you're staked, right? So like
Yeah. Exactly.
I have chutes and I'm earning more chutes every day. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the way that the ecosystem operates too with dynamic tau tokens, it gears towards builders that are truly building something very well, delivering constantly. it's basically rewarding the strongest builders, the most active builders, the hardest working builders, through the emissions. And I think that's really good to incentivize builders because a lot of the emissions are going to flow into those really good builders, those good projects, those good subnets, and the other subnets that maybe they're not really doing anything crazy. They're not going to get crazy emissions or anything nearly at all, because there's just no value there. So it's like the market kind of prices in the value of, some of the best tokens or the best teams building on these subnets. I think it just drives a ton of demand to, true actual utility within the ecosystem. I think
Yeah,
it's
100%.
awesome.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more. We'll get into Mortal later. I'd love to know which ones you're really bullish on. But first,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
kind of get into some news here. So the M2 money supply, there's a 78-day offset and 108-day offset, and they're pretty much following. They're following basically 108 days. So the 78-day one is following. It's the money supply. If you back it up 78 days, and then the same thing for the 108 days following 108. So some people, Colin Talks Crypto, for instance, he's saying that he believes in the 108 day, while someone like Raoul Pal believes in the 78 day. I'm actually going to bring them both up.
Cool.
And then we can kind of debate whether what are you thinking on it. So of course I can't. There they are. All right, found it. All right, so this is the two of them together here. All right, so it might be hard to see, but Twitter is hard to zoom in. But this is the 78-day M2. So this is the global money supply, and it is on an absolute tear, right? Absolute tear. And so they're taking the M2 money supply and they're just lagging it 78 days on this one, and they're lagging it 108 days on this one. And as you can see, back here, the 78-day one was almost accurate. It was so accurate. And then you had a little bit of a divergence right here. And now you're kind of getting into here. So if this one is right, we're about to absolutely explode. And then you have the 108-day M2 money supply. And you can see there's a little bit of divergence here, the opposite of what happened here. But then you see it's pretty accurate all the way through. And if this is the case, we still have about 2 weeks before liftoff. While this situation, we're in liftoff mode now. If you had to guess, which one do you think is more accurate?
It's a good question. I honestly would think looking at it, I would think the 108 would look pretty good. They both do,
Yeah.
like you said, they look very, very similar. 78 though, it looks like it wants to just take off literally the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they both look very similar. I would say that I think the 108, but for me in a case like this, I would probably look at both of them, and I
Yeah.
would say just within that range of time, between 78 days and 108 over the next few weeks, I would think that if this is going to work out either way, we'd probably see some sort of huge liftoff, whether it's now or even in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
For it to play out, I think it looks really good. We're based off this.
I mean, either way, in August we're going to be at 140K, right? So it's I'm okay with I'm okay with it. We're going to have something that we've never seen before. Potentially, we're going to have a bullish summer. And I've been in crypto now since I got in August 2020. And every summer has been pretty much bearish or sideways, right? Especially the last two. The last two have been horrific. There's been just no one paying attention. Do you see a bullish summer happening here?
Dude, that's a great question. Because I feel like I've spent a lot of time thinking about both scenarios. I'm very much so, I like to look at both sides of things. I am in the camp that I think we will be bullish, probably within a shorter span of time versus waiting another 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
I am bullish on that. But I also don't want to discount that things can go lower, especially due to the markets being so uncertain right now. Fear still being so, low, not even just in crypto, but even stocks. Even though I think we're seeing the market decouple a little bit the last few days, which is interesting, but I am in that camp that I think we're going to be bullish going forward, probably sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, yesterday we saw the S&P drop 3%, the Dow Jones drop
Yeah.
3%, Nvidia drop almost $7, which was like 4.5%,
Yeah,
and
that
then
was
Bitcoin
crazy.
I mean, Bitcoin's at $91,500 right now. So it's
91 now?
it's yeah, it
Oh
is
my god, it keeps
absolutely
going.
flying right now. Look at this candle, bro. Look at this candle is magnificent. This is a daily
Wow.
candle. This thing is absolutely looking insane right now. And like it does look like
Yeah.
a double bottom on the daily, and then
Mhm.
just absolute lift off from here, man, which kind of puts us we're still here, but we have ways to go before we even get anywhere near the
Mhm.
top of this range that we've been in now for going since I want to say November. Really started upward momentum with the Trump pump and then the Trump dump,
Yeah.
and now we kind of have this sideways motion that we've been in now since early March, and now potentially
Yep.
lift off. So I mean, either way, the M2 money supply is telling us we're going up.
Right.
Are you feeling potentially a really good May?
I yeah, I am. I'm still questioning it a little bit
Yeah,
because of the uncertainty, but I am, yes. I'd say I'm like
I
80-20 bullish, 20% potentially bearish, but yeah,
dude,
I wanna
this
see
might
it.
be the adrenaline pumping through my veins right now, watching Bitcoin just absolutely explode. But I'm feeling bullish, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I just can't see us I just can't see us heading back down here to 70, 76, 75. I mean, you got to like.
No,
There's been
I know what
so
you mean.
much bullish news. It's like
Yeah,
it's being suppressed by somebody or
right.
someone is suppressing the price because you just can't have all this. I understand crypto. Like I understand why Ethereum. Damn, Ethereum's up 9% today. That is crazy. I mean, Ethereum's
Wow.
up 9%. Tau's up 9% today. Titan X. Are you into that at all? Any of that crazy DeFi, Titan X, Zen type of stuff?
No, you know what? I'm curious to learn, but no, I've actually
Yeah.
I've heard of it a couple times.
Yeah, they were really big. I got into it. I minted some, and I have a bunch of stakes and stuff like that. It's
Nice.
basically like your old school DeFi. You know what I mean? Your Ponzi hex
Okay,
type of stuff. But yeah, I was just curious
I
if you
got you.
ever got into that. You have tokens
Sweet.
like Virtual's up 13% today. AIXBT up
Nice.
10%. Then you have Griffin, which is up 14%. Yeah, man, everything's
Mhm.
running. Even the Dow Jones up 2% today. The S&P up 2%.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really bullish, really bullish. So
Yeah, good day. That's great to see.
yeah, man. Trump Media officially finalizes partnership with Crypto.com to launch ETFs. How big do you think this is? Do you think people in crypto are going to buy ETFs on Crypto.com?
That's a good question. I actually am incredibly bullish on crypto-based ETFs or even just like index funds in crypto.
Yeah,
I think it's a huge thing because I look at it even for myself. Like, imagine, I mean, I don't know how they're going to actually implement that and what kind of coins, if they're going to do it by narrative, by market cap, But I think that will be a major thing that we see constantly in the future, especially even next bull run, two bull runs from now,
yeah,
is if we have ETFs. Like, imagine investing instead of investing in like two, three, four, let's say AI coins, right? You can invest in a narrative fund that basically just allocates you into a bunch of coins within that narrative. So you're allocated into some good stuff and you don't really have to be worried about checking too much. I think that's going to be a very common thing in crypto. So I'm actually really bullish on that, but I mean as far as Trump media with crypto.com, I got to look into it more, but I think it's pretty interesting anyways, nonetheless.
Yeah, well, Trump Media, obviously, he has the Truth Social, and they got to pivot, right? Because I think no one's going to use it. Everyone's going to use X, right? You're going to go
Yeah, yeah.
where everyone is and everything like that. So this is their pivot moment. They're pushing all their companies, really. I mean, you're seeing WLFI, which is their like
Yeah.
index fund that they're running and stuff like that. Would you ever get into like a crypto 20? Like, how they got the S&P 500? But like a crypto 20 where it's like the top
Yeah.
20 cryptos, and if one falls out of the 20, they add one in there. Is that something you think you'd be interested in the future?
I honestly, maybe. I would say, for me, I love to, I live for looking for, micro
Yeah,
caps, low cap stuff. But I mean, if I have, a lot of capital, it's not doing much.
yeah,
Yeah, why not? Maybe I
yeah,
allocate a
yeah.
little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you could go in and out. Like you can go in and out of it like that. Let's just say, like, 5 years down the line, we've made it. We made it, guys. You know what I mean? And then eventually you have some Bitcoin on the sideline. Potentially you want to get a little risky. But you
Yeah, yeah,
don't want to you don't want to get back into it anymore. You don't want to like I have it's been a while since I've been in the trenches, but
yeah,
you still want that risk on, right? You can kind of switch from a Bitcoin into a crypto 20 where you're just kind of like into
yeah,
the top 20s, and then potentially move that back to Bitcoin when you feel like it has peaked for that cycle and stuff like that. It's just ideas. It's definitely something
yeah.
that I see TradFi doing for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I think so too.
Yeah,
Definitely.
man.
That's interesting.
Coinbase confirms it's considering applying for a U.S. federal bank charter, a move that would let it offer traditional banking services like deposits and loans. If this happens, I know, like, I'm immediately switching. Like I have like PNC, and they're not like the friendliest to crypto. So
Oh,
it's kind of
really?
like, when there's a withdrawal from Coinbase, it sometimes it gets flagged, and I gotta like get on
Oh,
the
yeah,
phone and
yeah, yeah.
stuff. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm just I use Coinbase as it is right now. I use Coinbase and Cash App to buy Bitcoin, and Coinbase to
Mhm.
buy like some of the top ones that I need to get on chain, right, to withdraw that to the chain that I want to get to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what do you think, man? Would you consider switching to Coinbase Bank?
I definitely would, yeah. For crypto, anything crypto related, yeah, to avoid dealing with a lot of this stuff. Yeah, exactly, like you said, like getting flagged and stuff like that,
Yeah,
definitely would. Yeah,
I
that's
I know a
actually really
guy.
interesting.
Yeah, I know a guy in New York. He was paying for this party. The party was like 40K, right? It was like it was
Wow.
insane. And he was like he wanted to go pay for the party, and he had the funds in Coinbase, and he went to withdraw them to his bank, and his bank like locked him out. So he was like, I don't know how the fuck I'm
No
gonna pay for
way.
this party now. Like I have the
Oh,
money.
man,
So he had to
that's
figure
tough.
out another. I think he had to put it on a credit card or something. But at the time, I was like, yeah, I can't help you, bro. I don't have 40K for this party. Like,
Yeah, right,
but yeah, I
wow.
mean, that's something crypto people haven't have had to deal with this last, especially the last 4 years under that last administration. And now
Yeah,
potentially, if you can go in and out of your bank to crypto, I mean, for instance, like let's just say when you get paid, they immediately convert it into USDC. And then when you swipe your card, it just converts. Like, how cool would that be?
oh,
You never
yeah,
even have to
sweet.
go off chain.
I think there will be products and stuff built like that in the future. Is that yeah, that
Yeah,
would just change everything, change a lot of stuff at least.
yeah,
Definitely would.
100%, man. The next thing here is Galaxy Digital. I'm not sure how familiar you are with them. They're, a publicly traded company. Their CEO had the Luna wolf on his shoulder because Terra
Oh,
Luna made him so much money, and then
wow.
he got sued for like $200 million when the Luna crash happened. Not very
Oh,
good look, but Galaxy
right.
Digital, they're actually depositing ETH now, 65,000 ETH, $105 million to Binance, and withdrew 752,000 Solana, $98 million over the
Hmm.
past 2 weeks. How do you feel about people now going out of ETH and going into Solana? Is that something that I think is kind of stupid, right? What do you think?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I guess for me, I'm in the camp. I still love Ethereum. I think a
Yeah.
lot of really good builders, really good projects that have been building for a long time are on Ethereum. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think because like if yeah, a lot of people I feel like have been moving over to Solana and really just selling ETH because of its underperformance. But yeah, like I said, I think it's stupid. Or I'm sorry, like you
Yeah.
said, I actually agree. I think it's stupid. I think having exposure to both is probably still about like the best bet. Even if you don't believe in ETH like that because of price action, I think ETH still has got a lot coming, a lot for
Yeah.
it. I don't think it's had its final hoorah yet. You know?
No, I just think Ethereum is a premium chain, right? If you're doing
Yeah,
meme
yeah.
coin trading and you want to do it on an EVM based model, you use base chain. You'll use maybe
Mhm.
Sonium for gaming, Arbitrum, all these other L2s. But at the end of the day, most of them you're paying gas in Ethereum. So I just don't
Yeah,
understand why people are so bearish. I mean, even Abstract, right? That is the Pudgy Penguins chain. Ethereum
yeah,
is the gas fee. So all these L2s are using Ethereum. So when people say things like, "Oh, Solana has more transactions and stuff," yeah, right now. But what's going to happen when these L2s really get into people's like, view, right? Because
Yeah.
think about Coinbase, for instance. You're going to be doing stuff on Coinbase on chain, and you're not even going to know you're on chain. You're just going to be doing stuff, and they're going to be offering it and doing it for you in the back end. So, like, and that's all done on top of Ethereum. All those transactions are rolled up and put on Ethereum. And people say like Ethereum's too expensive. Yeah, it's the premium chain. You're doing it for the security. You're doing it for the safety. When you do trades over there, it's for tens, $20,000s of dollars, right? So on Solana, for instance, there's a lot of different things going on over there where, people get hacked all the time on Solana, and they don't have the security features that Ethereum offers. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think it's because I've always looked at it too from an investment perspective. Because I've invested in coins on obviously even from Base to Ethereum and Sol. And the chains trade differently. Like price action, the way that the coins move, they actually move a lot different. And I think a lot of it is because of gas fees, transaction speed, like TPS, and just I guess the nature of the chain and the culture behind it. But right, I think Ethereum being a premium chain, the price action for ETH-based coins that I noticed over the last year, they are a lot slower. Like I like to call them slow cooks. They're slow cooks because people can invest more and go to sleep at night knowing the coin's not going to nuke to zero. Like on Sol, when I coin, you could buy a coin in 3 seconds, it's down 50%. Because people are just buying and selling so quick. But I think a lot of people kind of they're always talking about the gas fees and stuff too, but I think it's kind of just the price you pay for, in my opinion, a better experience for trading or investing on a chain. Like I'd rather invest in coins on native ETH than a lot of Solana based projects. That's just my
100%.
personal opinion though, but
if I needed a loan, Aave on ETH would probably be the place I'd go, right? I convert that whatever I need to into Ethereum, lock up that Ethereum on Aave, or even make your DAO, for instance, and getting some DAI. Like it would definitely be an Ethereum based place. I don't think I'd do DeFi on Solana, and that might be a part of just my not really spending too much time over there either. But like, and Ethereum's the beginning, is the first place DeFi ever began, right? So I feel like it'll always be that top-notch place to DeFi, in my opinion. So, but you're right though, it's very slow cooks, but I think they're all highly manipulated down at this point, and people are just waiting for it to explode. So, but we'll see. All right, let's kind of get into this next thing. Here's gold, man. I'm not a gold bug. I've never been someone who invested in gold, but looking at this chart is just magnificent. This chart goes all the way back to about November 2023, and you saw some sideways and then just upward momentum from September 2024 till now. Gold is being looked at right now as like the leading asset. China is apparently dumping bonds, dumping the dollar, and getting into gold here. Are you still bullish on gold at $3,500 here?
Yeah. I think gold has had an unbelievable run. It might need to have some sort of cool off fairly soon, but it also just depends on the macro still, because if we continue to have all this uncertainty, it's probably going to continue to run. But I would say, like, personally, I would never be a buyer of gold at an all-time high like that, because I hate buying into tops. I can't top blast like that. But
yeah, I'm the same way. I don't like chasing right now. I feel like you're chasing gold. But with Bitcoin, for instance, I mean, this is gold, Bitcoin and 100-day lead. We talked about earlier the M2 money supply with the 77 and the 108 day. This is gold on 108. It doesn't follow it as closely as the other one does, but as you can see, if you take gold and put it back 100 days, it's pretty much doing exactly what Bitcoin is doing now. And it had that dip right here, gold had, and then gold just went on a momentum streak again. So we're seeing the M2 money supply saying Bitcoin's going to go up. We're seeing the gold chart saying Bitcoin's going to go up. I mean, it has to go up. I don't know. I mean, there's so many macro. I mean, so many different charts, and these are not crypto charts. Gold, you know what I mean? It's not like Bitcoin's following like a crypto index. No, it's following an asset it's over 4,000 years old, right? The M2 money supply is just countries printing new money. And one thing about the M2 money supply people aren't really saying is the U.S. hasn't started printing yet. So what happens when
Mm,
we get into quantitative easing? What happens to that chart then?
yeah, that is pure takeoff. Absolutely.
I'm I'm excited, man. I'm excited, but let's kind of get into the Bitcoin fear and greed. It does look like
Mm,
other people are excited too. So last Tuesday, we were at a 38. Yesterday, we're at a 39. I'm going to ask you to guess here. Based on the
cool.
momentum, I'm going to give you a hint. We're headed. We're back in neutral. We're potentially in
Okay.
the high 40s. Where do you think we are?
I'm gonna say 43 right now.
Pretty close. I'll give it to
47.
you.
Wow.
47. Isn't that nuts, dude? It doesn't feel like. I mean, sitting at
Yeah.
91K, it's kind of, but
Right.
I
Yeah,
think we're
yeah.
gonna be in the green tomorrow, man. I think we're gonna be in the 50s and 60s tomorrow. What do you think?
Yeah, if Bitcoin keeps this momentum up like it has, I
Yeah,
think it could. It definitely could be.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, 47. I was gonna say, I guess, yeah, fear and greed. You're right. It doesn't feel like it. As I mean, if you're a full Bitcoin holder, obviously, I think it'd be it's good to see everything green. But
yeah,
obviously, altcoins are still most altcoins are down very hard. So
yeah.
I think that's partially
That's
why
true.
it doesn't feel like it. But
Yeah,
it's
we'll
still
see what
very
happens.
bullish
100%.
overall.
We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks, man. We start seeing
Yeah.
some 10%, 80% gains every day. Well, that'll
Yeah.
be pretty
Right.
nuts. So, but let's kind of get into that Bitcoin price action here. Would you want to show your chart, or do you want to take a look at it, or
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Sure.
can show mine?
Let me see. Do I just hit present?
Yeah, just hit present and then put it on the screen that you want to present it.
Okay. Give me 1 second here.
Yep, yep.
Let me leave
But
that.
the real quick, the Bitcoin price action is brought to you guys by Artura, Artura.finance. These guys are building a leverage trading platform on Hemi. Hemi is a Bitcoin layer 2. What Hemi is actually backed by Binance, and Binance, by potentially playing on Artura.finance on mainnet launch probably the next month or so, you will potentially be able to earn and get the airdrop for Hemi. Also, you'll get the airdrop for Artura. So I definitely think you guys should play. If you play on leverage, play small, play a little bit of money. Potentially, you guys could make out really well with the Hemi and Artura airdrops. Check all that out at Artura.finance. But let's kind of get into Bitcoin price action.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have you, if you don't
Yeah,
mind, showing it on yours. I guess my
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is
No
having an
problem.
issue here.
No problem at all. What do you want to look at? The daily. What are you thinking?
Yes, if you want to go into the daily right now, so looking at
Yeah.
the levels right now. So something that I've been looking at, watching for, is the level around 89K. It's almost like you can kind of draw it just from, yeah, right around right there. That to me has been a good signal because I've been
Yeah.
waiting for Bitcoin price action. It's been constantly in lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs on a daily chart. But this candle literally today is now confirming to me that we may have a full out flip of momentum going
Ooh.
from continuing a lower low, lower high downtrend to now potentially flipping bearish. So, I mean, it doesn't mean that, we're actually going to rip to 100K tomorrow, but I could see us now that it's broken above. To me, it's looking a lot more bearish. I'm sorry, bullish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I would think that we may have a couple, maybe a day, couple days of green here and a chop. But I think going forward, we're probably going to start to see more bullish price action, maybe higher highs and higher lows starting to form into a new uptrend for the next leg. That's yeah, because that's exactly what I've been looking for, and that candle really has confirmed that for me, at least from like a high time frame perspective.
What would make you think of a fake out? Like what price action would you be like, damn, that didn't work out? Would you say if we get back into the like 86s, 87s, or do you think that maybe that's just the pullback that we need?
No, that's a great point too. That was the other side of things. So if you look at yeah, see like those three candles, if you look around the 88K level, those three candles right to the left a little bit, on like what March 26th to 28th, like that
Okay.
area right there. So there's a lot of no, a little bit higher at around 88.
Right. Okay.
So there's a lot of liquidity kind of that would be sitting there because I know a lot of people are shorting, going from 88K all the way back down. So there could be a lot of different positions open right now. And this could be one major cascade to the upside to liquidate a lot of shorts. I haven't really looked at the any heat maps or anything to see what kind of positions were at around 80 to 90K, but this could be some sort of fake out. But I think to actually confirm that it would be a very large fake out, I think is if we get another day or two of green and then we get some nasty red candles continuing down all the way to even mid 80s, low 80s. Because what I've noticed too is when we're in a trend like that, it seems like when the trend has been going down, up and down, we constantly are seeing price action when it's green, trending upwards kind of weak, but then when it dumps, it giga dumps. And then it trends up a little bit, tries to push, dumps again. So if it's going to continue a downtrend and this is just a fake out, then we'll probably see some nasty red candles coming out of this move that we're currently in. But that is where it's the hardest part a lot to determine if it's going to be a fake out or if this is actually just a start of a new uptrend. Usually I like to wait once it breaks. I like to wait for a retest well back into that range. And that range for me would be in between 80 to 85K. And after that, if it starts to bounce, show signs of strength, build like a bullish momentum, I would think we're probably going to keep going higher. But if we just get red candle after red candle after red, and the momentum is just curving to the downside, I would think we're probably going to continue down.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it looks very good. This is a great confirmation to me to look a lot more bullish, at least for Bitcoin right now. So yeah, it's going to be over the next few days what kind of price action comes out of it. I would say over the next week.
Yeah. So if we get let's just say we're bullish today, bullish tomorrow, we get 4 or 5 green candles, we're sitting at potentially 97, and then potentially a pullback that would kill momentum for sure. Pickett's is taking us down to 86,000, but then that could be a nice reset to kind of take on that 110, right? Not to maybe go up to 94, reset back down to 87, and then maybe for that over the weekend, and then Monday come back and just start tagging that all-time high in early May. That could definitely be a possibility.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And that would kind of go with all the charts, right? The M2 money supply, everything else. I mean, if the M2 money supply is right, we potentially could see, 140,000. By in August, which this could be the beginning of something very similar to what we saw back here, right? Back here. So we had this downtrend, and then we've seen this pop right here coming from about 59K back when Germany was selling, all the way up to 109. So we potentially see basically what we just saw. Let's get rid of this one. And potentially see us do that next leg up. There's the next leg up here, taking us to 140, and then maybe we see another one. Maybe we see a third leg here on this chart. Is that something potentially we could see?
I would say, yeah, it's definitely possible. I think we definitely could see a run into new all-time highs. I think potentially in May.
Yeah.
But I guess for me, I'm not like this hyper bull or hyper bear when it comes to a chart this deep into the cycle. I'm very much so playing both sides of it. But I mean, again, with the confirmation to me that it's starting to look a lot more bullish, aside from whatever price action is going to do. Yeah, I think if it can start building bullish momentum, start really trending up and pushing high, yeah, we definitely could easily be going to 120, 130. But I don't really know how high we're going to be going this cycle. I would actually think 120, 130 would be potential maximum area, but absolutely prove me wrong on that, But I think a next leg up though is 100% possible.
You think that potentially is the top here? Let's just say we get to 138, 140, and then just being, and then go. I mean, go into another bear market? Like, is that something that you're kind of thinking? I can't
Yeah.
imagine. Like over the course of a year, I feel like we've been in a bear market. So it's like with Bitcoin
Oh,
only
I
running by
know.
itself. So it's like it's hard for me to kind of think that 140 would be a top for this cycle. I mean, it would fit time
Yeah,
wise, but if we're in a super cycle, we potentially could see a bunch of these legs
it's true.
that we're in. It could be the first of 7-8 legs. I mean, you're gonna call me nuts, but I'm actually thinking we're gonna hit 700K by next May.
No way. Wow.
I
No,
mean,
that's
have you
bullish.
seen Plan B stock to flow? That's kind
No,
of
recently, no, I haven't.
let's take a look at it real quick. So Plan B, somebody I've been following for going on 4 years. This chart was one of the first charts that I really saw coming in the crypto and really got me bullish. And this is the stock to flow. So Plan B is actually predicting us to go over this line here, and this line is about $700,000. So he's kind of his top is between 500 and 700 for this cycle. And as we see, we've
Wow.
had enter here and we're sideways. And we've been following this line, but we've always went above the line, came back under it. Went above the line, came back under it. Went above it, came under it. Right now, we're just kind of going with the line. So he's kind of expecting us potentially in early 2026 to kind of get past this line, potentially even getting closer to that $1 million number, and then come back down, and then potentially hang out here
Mm.
until 2028 before we make our move. He's actually predicting $8 million by 2030.
Wow, that's wild. That's crazy. Um, no, I mean, I actually I've seen the stock to flow
Yeah,
for a little bit, but I think for me personally,
yeah,
I don't know if I can see that happening, just running that high. But like I like to say on my channel a lot, like I have my own opinions, but I
yeah.
want to be proven wrong. Like prove me wrong any time of day, you know.
I
But
love it. Yeah, man.
yeah, I mean, I think it is a good model though, but I think that is definitely it
Yeah, I
is a
mean,
lot. That's high.
if you're right, this you can throw this chart out the window. I mean, it'll break.
Oh, yeah,
If
well,
140 or 200 is the top, I mean, this chart is the 8 million in 2030. It is not going to happen. But we'll see.
oh, yeah.
But I want to jump into the roll call here real quickly. Let's see who is here. In this channel, we do a thing called first is first. With the first comment of the day, I'm tracking from January 1st. So I have this chart here where the first comment of each live show going all the way back to the first, just kind of tracking. And today, congratulations, ASAP Benji was the first comment of the day. So you, my friend, you have the 7th win of the year. Congratulations, you. Danny Boy has 19, WebDro has 15. But we're doing this thing.
Nice.
So we're giving away a Bitcoin frog right now, valued around
Oh,
$800.
nice.
So we're giving it away December 31st of this year to whoever is in the lead here. So right now we have, if it would end today, Danny Boy has 19 wins. Danny Boy would win it. But this is still anyone's game. We still have like 200 days left or 180 days left in this year. So it's 180 more chances to potentially win here. So ASAP Benji, you still have a shot with your 7 wins, man. But anyone can really beat out Danny. He's got to be the first comment of the show, and you get put on this. So it's kind of cool. We have a lot of people
Yeah.
always like trying to get fight for that number, that first box. Like I'll post like later today. I'll put the link up, and then you'll see comments just flying in, and it's pretty cool. So it's definitely a little thing we're trying to give back to whoever is
Yeah.
first
No, I
comment.
love that. That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. That's sweet.
And we're going to do a 2nd place and 3rd place as well. We just don't know the prizes for that yet. But the 1st place is a Bitcoin frog. So, and then ASAP Benji says, bullish on Connor on chain and Shizzy combo. Let's effing go. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Danny
sir.
Boy says, yo, congrats, ASAP. ASAP says, yeah, you've won and you are tired of winning. So yeah, talking to Zeech is here. Shout out to Zeech. Mats is here. Shout out to Mats. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. Shout out to you, my friend. Glass Hoppers in the building. Webdro is here. Mempool Punk is here. Steamy J. Superfan. Shout out to Superfan with a GM like every single day. Appreciate you, my friend. Chief Axel is here. Kamal is here. Shout out to Kamal. Nabob is here. Shout out to Nabob. 2K. Connor, a hidden gem. Yes, sir. I couldn't agree more. Matt says, let's effing go, Connor on chain. And then you got a lot of fans here, man. And then Pelpa says,
Thanks.
GM legend. Shout out to every single one of you guys who makes a roll call every single day. Appreciate you guys, man. All right. let's kind of get into the next thing I have here. So we talked about it pre-show a little bit, but Arch Network, they had a tweet this morning. They said, we're excited to share that Pantera Capital is leading our $13 million Series A to help Arch build the permissionless financial rails for a Bitcoin-denominated world. And I was explaining to you earlier, Arch is a Solana fork, kind of, built on top of Bitcoin that's going to allow you to finalize your transactions on Bitcoin, but still give you that fast-paced functionality of Solana. What do you think? Do you think something like this, one, can work, and two, would be absolutely insane for Bitcoin to have something running kind of on top of it?
I think that would drastically change things, like for the Bitcoin ecosystem. I mean, it's been cool too because I've seen a lot of different, projects and platforms on Bitcoin, lately. I think there's been a lot of improvement on stuff like that. But I feel like for Bitcoin, there hasn't been a full out like breakout, whether it's like a chain on top of it or something like that, at least over, the span of time, last few months, things like that. But yeah, if there's something that can operate kind of like that, kind of like a Solana, and just attract more degens like that, I think that definitely could drive a lot of attention. Yeah. I think that could be
Yeah, I
really
mean,
good.
yeah, I mean, it's going to be absolutely insane. Like, like buying a puppet, taking some liquidity, I'm taking a loan out against it, and all done in potentially the same block, right? I don't got to wait anymore. I'm able to I mean, it's going to bring smart contracts, is going to bring everything you can do in Solana. There's already a project called FunkyBit that's kind of building the first pump fund for it, and right now they're on base. But when Arch goes live, they're going to be the first pump fund on Arch. They're and then Arch is also they got their, like, how Solana had multi-chain capital, and they actually just brought in a big investor as well, not before Pantera. So they probably sitting on like $50 million in Series A right now with the last raise and then this raise. I mean, these guys are actually really pushing the narrative here. I mean, with money comes more devs. With more devs comes proper foundation. I'm super bullish on this, man, and
Yeah.
I truly think that something like this could really change things on Bitcoin. But then you have your layer one maxis. They're gonna be like, well, it's not technically on Bitcoin. But
Yeah.
would you, if something that's finalizing on Ethereum, for instance, it's technically still on Ethereum, right?
Yeah. I would think it's still on like
Yeah.
the main chain it's functioning or finalizing on rather. Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I still think that shouldn't take away from, the innovation to just make everything on Bitcoin a lot faster, for
Yeah.
those tokens and ordinals, stuff like that.
100%, man. Kind of next thing here. So speaking of Solana, Fartcoin flips bonk in market cap. Fartcoin,
Yeah.
I mean, it's been the meme coin of the cycle,
Nuts.
right? It was created by an AI, so it's considered an AI coin, I guess. But
Yeah.
back to $1 billion. Fartcoin seems to be front running Bitcoin a little bit as well. What do you think about Fartcoin, one? And do you think it can potentially compete with the likes of Doge and Shiba?
Yeah, great question. I think my bad, just pulling up the chart.
Yeah, good.
With Farcoin, yeah, I think the mind share and the attention that it's had is at least through the last like 2 or 3 months in the downturn.
Yeah,
There really hasn't been anything like it. It's almost like for meme coins, we had a lot of meme coins run 2024. Mid to late 2024. Farcoin was a lot newer. And I feel like it's just every time we have a huge downturn, a multi-month downturn, it's like any coins that are even just newer in that small time frame usually end up taking a lot of mind share. And
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I know Farcoin's been around for a little bit now, but that has just been taking crazy mind share across all of crypto Twitter. Um, I honestly have no full out target for where that thing can go, but the chart definitely has been pushing higher. I think if it can come down, it might have to bounce down a little bit before it really could run, especially if it's going to a new all-time high. But I think with so what is the volume on that right now too? That's maintained some good volume, but I think this, what is that? 14 million. That's on. Okay. Yeah, I think with mindshare, if it can keep that mindshare up, which I think it will. Yeah, this will probably be a top meme coin, at least one that's on chain. I don't even think this has listings yet on anything. This will just keep going.
you think so?
I,
Do you think this can? I mean, if you saw it back here, this was on an absolute runner with a nice pullback here, and then all the way. I mean, this thing hit 2.7 billion before it came down, and you got this cup and handle right here, and then it really kind of sent off up here. So potentially, man, could you see this not only passing its all-time high, but potentially maybe even reaching like 10 $15 in the future? Could you see something where this thing just kind of goes parabolic?
It just God candles at $10. No, but yeah,
I mean,
no,
if
but
Bitcoin runs to 700K, for instance, Fartcoin could be $10, right?
no, that'd be crazy. But I mean, I think it's so hard because oh man, for memes are so risky. They're so
Yeah,
degen, and this is already at a billion. Like I'd say yes, it probably can. I would say maybe go to like $3. I wouldn't be surprised if it can touch its all-time high again.
yeah,
Maybe a little higher. But yeah, I don't want to put like a crazy target on that. Aside from it chopping around, maybe even dumping all the way back to like, even like 60, 50 something cents,
yeah.
chopping, bouncing again, then pushing up again. But yeah, if we just get another run from Bitcoin, though, like you said, you're right. This thing is still going to go on a tear, regardless of where
Yeah.
it's sitting at.
I,
So yeah,
I think two
go ahead.
280 is conservative. The old all-time high. I think this thing gets $7. I'm actually thinking this gets to between $7 and $10 by March May of next year. I think between there. I think that next May is going to be a sell in May and go away. I think a lot of people are going to have made a
Mm,
lot of money by that point, and I think March, April, May are going to be the end of this cycle. This extended cycle that I think we're going to be in. And if this happens, I kind of do see this. I kind of do see potentially $7.50, $8 kind of being a top for Fartcoin. And probably sound nuts to a lot of people, but I think Fartcoin is probably going to be one that get listed on Robinhood. I think it gets listed on
yeah,
Coinbase, and get listed on Binance. And when that happens, you're going to obviously see a dip at the listing day, which normally happens, and then you're going to see potentially level one crypto traders come in for the first time and be able to buy this thing.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think once listings will definitely, I think, take this thing way further. But it's just crazy. It's just on chain right now. It's already at a billion with,
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say close to nothing, right? I don't even know if it
I
has any
mean,
listings.
I'm not 100% sure. I know they're on like the normal ones, Mexi, the Gate.ios, but I don't think they're on. I know they're not on Kraken,
Yeah.
Coinbase. I don't know if they're on Binance or not. But yeah.
Okay, so
All
yeah,
right.
yes, there's some. Okay.
There is
Yeah,
some,
but
right?
any
It's not that any of the top three, right? Top five? Are they on BitGet or anything like that?
it is on BitGet,
Okay.
KuCoin, Kraken. Wow, yeah, so they've
Oh
got
wow,
more
it's
than
on
I thought.
Kraken.
Never mind.
Okay. Yeah, man.
But yeah, no, I think any major listings though, Binance, Coinbase, yeah, that'll still take that even further too.
Yeah. Do you consider
Yeah.
Bybit potentially a top exchange as well?
Yeah, I would put it probably
Yeah.
within top 10, 5 to 10, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense. All right, let's kind of get into Tau stats and the Tau token. So Tau has been ripping
Yeah.
up to $336. Crazy. This thing was $190 2 weeks ago. And now it's sitting
Yeah,
at
right.
three. Like this is one of the powerhouses, in my opinion. I think if you didn't want to get risky, if you wanted a very nice, safe bet, I think Tau potentially. I mean, my target for Tau, and like I said, I'm overly bullish on it. I think Tau can hit between 4,000 and 6,000 this cycle potentially. Again, by probably next May. I think buying this now is like buying Bitcoin at 300. They got a halving in December, right? I think the halving is
Yep.
really gonna. So right now it's every block, which is I think is about 30 seconds to a minute. Is one Tau comes online, but then that's going to get halved down to half a Tau. Which one
Right.
is going to make Tau, very sought after. But now the emissions for some of these alpha tokens get halved as well. Because right now, I mean, a full Tau comes in and it goes in, like for instance, for the emissions, 17% of that Tau every minute goes into Chutes. So, but what's going to happen when it's half a Tau? So Chutes is going to get less emissions, and so I think these alpha
Right.
tokens are going to be really sought after here. And I'm really curious. I know you're somebody who spent a lot of time researching and taking a look, but what are some of these that you're potentially bullish on?
Yeah, I mean, I would say definitely anything Rayon Labs right now. It just kind of consists of chutes, gradients. It seems like they're just a killer team building some great products.
Yeah.
Um, one of them that's pretty interesting too is the proprietary trading network right there.
Yeah.
That one is kind of a bet on, different markets, people that are taking trades on crypto forex. Pretty interesting one. I would say that one, they are building a lot of different stuff and they're just onboarding a lot of different investors. Um, I'd say that's probably one of the higher cap ones here that I'm really interested in.
Yeah, for sure. I'm the same way. I really like Nova. This is the one that's potentially Binance backed, right? This is the one that I think is. I think that's Nova. That's the one that's Binance backed, right, or something like that.
That one, what is that one? No, that one might be it's Yuma.
Okay. Okay.
I, you know,
I know
I
there's one that Binance is potentially supporting. Apex, I'm really bullish on. This is kind of like their AI XBT. I've been actually using that a little bit. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
nice.
definitely bullish on these top four here. I did something a while ago, back when they first came out, and I was getting wrecked. I went in and I just put 0.2 tau on 60 different tokens. I didn't
No
know
way.
which one was going to win, but I am up really good. But I was getting wrecked. Like I put about in the beginning, probably like 20, 25 talent. And at one point it was like 16 tal. I was like, what did I do? I'm so stupid. But now I'm looking like a
Yeah,
genius because some of them, like 9, for instance, I got in this. I mean, it's sitting right now. Let me put it to USD. Yeah, so I got in this pretty cheap here. I'm sitting at 2
yeah.
point. I got in this probably like 200K. So I'm up like 10x on that. So my 0.2
Nice.
tau is now like 2 tau. So, but I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
still down on a bunch of them. But I put about 3 tau into Apex, and I'm up pretty good on that as well. And this is sitting at
Sweet.
a market cap of 15 million there. So yeah, really, really awesome. So
Yeah, yeah. No, that's sweet.
yeah, man. Is there any that are you invested in these? Are you looking to pick up more? Like, what's your strategy now? Because we are seeing a pullback now. We're seeing a pullback on the weekly, but it's very normal when Tau, because I see that because having experience in ordinals, watching ordinals kind of drop when Bitcoin runs, and then
Mhm.
seeing when Bitcoin kind of finds a nice sideways pattern, then you see the ordinals come up. I see the same thing happening with these alpha tokens where Tau is going to run up, alpha token is going to drop a little bit, and Tal's going to find a nice home, probably in this situation, probably around $420, and then you're going to see alpha tokens kind of catch back up, and the same thing,
Yeah.
run, catch up, run, catch up. Do you feel that as well?
I was gonna say 100%. That's actually what I've been noticing too. Is it seems like it's kind of like an inverse relationship. Yes, BitTensor really runs. Alpha tokens are kind of just sitting flat, even dumping, because it seems like maybe a lot of investors are going out of those to then catch BitTensor kind of climbing a little bit. But yeah, as far as right now, so I'm actually not too invested in many of these because
Yeah,
I've had a thesis just on, if like from BitTensor itself, I want to see the market really flip bullish like it is actually right now. My target is to allocate into some of these and just hold for a long time. Ride BitTensor out from 200, $300 into seeing it go, if it can go past its all-time high, 800, 850, 900, if it can get there, even like $1,000, that span of gains that BitSensor pulls, if that's a 3 to 5x or
yeah,
2, 3, 4x, whatever it is, yeah, I do expect a lot of pullbacks, a lot of chop for a lot of these subnets. But once BitSensor kind of climbs that ladder, gets to that point, I think subnets are going to explode just because it's kind of just the new ecosystem. It's a demand driven eco, and that's I think where attention is going to flow. So once BitTensor just continuously rises, I'd say anytime as BitTensor is climbing is a time to allocate. I'm not looking personally too much, for like small moves up and down because I just want to allocate and play the entire BitTensor, I guess, market running as BitTensor does a couple X's over a span of a month. I actually expect a lot of these subnets to end up doing a 3 to 5, upwards 10, 20 X's,
wow,
because it seems like most of their charts are still just like flat, sitting flat. Some of them are up like shoots, gradients, some of the top few, but the rest of them are kind of down only. They're still sideways. I expect almost
yeah,
all of them to eventually just have a huge curve to the upside. So that's been my thesis for it, is just allocating when the market flips a lot more bullish, and then it just literally being patient, riding those out. But yeah, it's like even something like Shoots with such dominance, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like Shoots is
Yeah.
killing it.
For a while, it was a battle between Shoots and Target. I remember
Yeah.
they were like neck and neck, and then Shoots just kind of took off. And I mean, you see it's 100% above Target right now. I mean, 17% emissions. That means 17% of the tau that's coming in is becoming Shoots. So every block,
Yeah.
right? 17% of that tau is now an alpha Shoots token. I mean, I think that is insane. And you're gonna see, so basically holding a one shoot gets you 17%, potentially APY. It's magnificent. It's pretty crazy for the entire, but that would be the entire shoots, right? And that's kind of split up depending on how much shoots you have locked up. So, or
Yes.
I mean, that's the best part, is they're not even locked up. They're kind of just sitting there.
Right.
You're not like you're staking them or anything. You just got to hold them. It pays to hold in these alpha tokens for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, man. All right, let's kind of get to our next segment here. So every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, we have the great guys from Artura. Artura is one of our partners. We talked about them a little bit earlier. They sponsored the Bitcoin price action every single day, and really appreciate them. But these guys are building something really amazing on Hemi. And Hemi is backed by Binance. Hemi's going to be, I was actually doing some research. Hemi's actually a part of, like, going to do some stuff with Ethereum and Bitcoin, but it's good. It's really different than anything I've seen. So definitely want to check out Hemi if you haven't. And if you are interested in trading leverage on Artura, you potentially get a Hemi airdrop. That's definitely something that I'm hoping for, right? I'm just hoping, right? But usually what happens when a chain starts, you get an airdrop with it. So without further ado, let's bring in Instant. Let's bring in Murion. Guys, welcome to OnChain Revolution.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Good, man. I mean, the market's up, right? I mean, 90.
Yes,
What we saw,
sir.
91.5. Marion, I would love your take on what is happening right now. And it's so weird. Like every other week, it's like, yes, last week was bearish, this week is bullish. What are you thinking, man?
Yeah, we are finally moving, finally showing some intention in the market. Hopefully, we're gonna see a good disrespect today on the close and to head to 100K.
What's your time frame on that?
100K.
Next week?
What?
What would be your time frame on 100K? Are you potentially seeing it next month?
I'll see. I think there's some red folder news next week, so I think that should push it. If there is not going to be any Trump news.
Yeah, for sure. But have you looked at the M2 money supply? We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw something.
Do you think potentially we could be following that? I mean, if that's the case, 140 by August. Do you think something like that is possible?
I hope so, because we created a lot of low resistance liquidity in our favor now.
Yeah,
because we were slowly falling down and bleeding, and a lot of failed swing highs, and it's really in our favor. Like we should pump through it like a hot knife through the butter, if everything aligns in our favor,
man.
right? Yeah,
100%. Instant, how's it going, bud? How you doing?
Good. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Feeling very bullish, but I don't know. Maybe it's just my optimistic sense.
Yeah, man, 100%. Connor, I was asking you a little bit, but like, how are you with trading? Are you like a big trader potentially with leverage?
Yeah, so that's leverage trading. That's something I personally don't do too often. It's something I have been experimenting with lately, probably over the last month or two, because there are a lot of coins that I think are on insane discounts, but I also don't want to throw a crazy spot bag at them when I can take kind of a leverage position, even like a mid-level leverage position on it to try and get a similar potential return. But aside from that, I haven't really experimented too much with leverage.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Let's kind of get into today. We're kind of doing our theme today is risk on versus risk off, navigating leverage trading and shifting markets. Murion, like, I'm just curious, man, like with it being kind of bullish right now, and the market kind of shifting from a bearish sentiment to a bullish sentiment, it's kind of really what it feels like. like how's your trading changed over the course of the last like week or so?
Yeah, so like my ideal scenario will be to trade BTC now because money is inflowing into the BTC. We can see Bitcoin dominance chart is pumping and all that. So the best scenario will be if we get like a new all-time high on the BTC, then we stagnate, consolidate a bit. Then we can see like BTC dominance chart falling off, like bleeding down, and the money will start outflowing from the BTC into like Ethereum, Solana, and all the other large caps. And then we can, for example, follow the Ethereum price action and Ethereum dominance chart, and then the outflow from that into lower like mid caps and meme coins. So I think that's the like perfect scenario in this risk on current state.
So like when should you like rotate? You think when I guess when Ethereum kind of breaks trend, right? When Ethereum kind of is upward momentum, do you think that would be too late to get into something like Ethereum, or what are you thinking?
I think like at least you should be like doing DCA to not miss out the opportunity, just to get some positions in, to not FOMO late and all that. So maybe like get some strategy to like DCA every week or a month, and just follow the dominance chart to see and try to time the in and out zones for your strategy.
Gotcha. Because if you look right now, I built this this little home here. This is Ethereum against Bitcoin. This has just been this is kind of what one of the guys I follow into the cryptoverse, Benjamin Cohen. He was saying Ethereum has to go home. Ethereum is home.
Yeah.
He's been calling this the bottom for a while here, in between 0.01 and 0.02. And when do you think an Ethereum against Bitcoin? I mean, I guess when it kind of breaks out a little bit.
Yeah,
Or
but like I said, that's gonna be related to the BTC when it pumps and potentially makes a new all-time high, then stagnates, consolidate a bit, so the money outflow will be there. But like we talked, I think last time or previous time, that Sol versus Ethereum is a much better chart, and I'm more fan of that than the Ethereum currently.
Gotcha. Instant. What about you, man? When do you go from potentially trading Bitcoin into some of these alts?
It's a tough one for me. At this point in my career, I feel like I'm more of a hodler than anything else. Even as I think I mean, I was getting like kind of FOMO a little bit about like Fartcoin. I heard you guys talking about that earlier, and I just see it dominating the timeline. But I think I've resisted the urge too far. I'm almost of like the person where it's like as soon as I see it on my timeline, I'm like, no, it's way too late for me to get in now. And then inevitably it goes up like another 2x or 4x or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, like I hold like most of the majors anyways. Like I'm always buying like a little bit of Bitcoin, always a little bit of Ethereum, even as like as getting a dogged on as Ethereum is kind of like right now it seems. Yeah,
man. So what are some like on-chain signals that help you detect like sentiment changes? Like Murion, was there anything over the course of the last 3-4 days that would have kind of told us the story of today?
To be honest, not following that fundamentals that much,
Yeah.
but in my own experience, like I see on the Telegram news and all that, I see stable coins inflow and outflow into the CEXs. So like inflow, there's some new powder in the game. So that's for the risk on scenario, right? That's how I'm looking at it. Or you can also track some whale wallets. They know something that we don't. So just follow the smart money.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What about you, Connor? Was there anything in the last couple of days that you saw that could have predicted today's monster candle?
As far as things I like to look at, it's things that could have predicted these candles. I would say not necessarily.
Yeah.
But for Bitcoin, I do use an RSI, which it's actually just like an indicator. And from high time frames, what I've noticed is it can be fairly accurate, and it's been showing signs for about a month, maybe a little bit more, that Bitcoin was going to try and put a push like it is right now. But other than that, yeah, as far as fully seeing this pump, that was mainly what I've been looking at. And then obviously Bitcoin dominance is something I check all the time too. But that one's just been continuing to the upside here too.
Yeah, I mean, dude, 64. This chart is absolutely nuts. This
Yeah,
chart
it's
is
crazy.
this is insane. I've never seen anything like this before. Instant,
Yeah.
man. Have you ever seen anything like this, man, in your in your years of a chart of looking at charts?
No, that's absolutely wild.
I would say for you, just check the gold chart. XAU.
Oh well, yeah, I have that
It's
right here.
insane. Insane bull run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
It
Oh my
is absolutely
Lord.
crazy. Yeah. So Bitcoin dominance and gold are pretty much the same chart. I mean, these last candles, I'm on the daily right now, and we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles, and the red ones are just so tiny.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the green
Yeah,
ones are
really.
so massive, dude. It is wild. I never seen anything like this. Marion, do you think gold can keep going up, or do you think gold needs to cool off here? Because like I'm more of a trend trader here, and the trend, I mean, to me, I feel like gold needs to come back down and kind of test this line again before it makes do you agree with that?
I'm riding with the trend. I'm not like I need to get some like shift in order flow. For now, that's not happening from what I'm seeing.
So right now,
Long.
would you long or short gold right now?
Well, in today's close, we're gonna set up like a new daily fair value gap. I will look for the longs from it, to be honest. There is a
Yeah,
huge
man.
trend. I don't try to time tops and bottoms. I just trade the chart and go with the flow.
Gotcha. So like an instant, would you guys consider adding gold in your leverage platform, potentially maybe Pax Gold or something like that, so where we can trade leverage on Artura with non-crypto assets?
I mean, of course, it's something that we've looked into. It was
Yeah.
originally on, we thought about adding it to the roadmap officially, but it's always one of those things where it's like, under promise, over deliver. So, we see like there's a very keen interest within, the community right now, and I think like the industry at large. I think everyone's kind of like hopping on that train. So that's like not something that we're, afraid of shying away from.
Gotcha. How are you guys doing over Artura, man? I know you guys are heads down building. Is there anything you can maybe speak on?
Yeah, definitely. I obviously like love doing these segments with you, like Murion, our chief trader here. Always dropping some great knowledge, and actually, like, one thing that we're working on really is educating everybody on leverage trading and just trading in general. So we're working on a series both with you guys OnChain Revolution and on our own to sort of build out a basic guide for anybody who's kind of interested in trading perps and doing so responsibly. And so we'll have like, sort of different bits of information and lessons probably dropping over the course of the next several weeks as we ramp up into mainnet.
Sounds great. Hey, Connor, I'm curious, man. Like when you trade on leverage, do you ever use a DEX?
No, you know what? One of the only places I've actually used is Ox Fund to actually leverage trade like assets. That has been the only spot. I don't really use centralized exchanges aside from if you'd consider that. But yeah, I definitely would use DEXs though, 100%.
Yeah, man. All right. I guess the last thing here would be like let's just say like let's just say like I was in a trade right now, Marion, right? And I'm up a lot. Let's just say I got in at like 86,000 and sitting at 92. What would be the play for someone like me? Let's just say like someone I'm I don't know what to do. I'm up a lot of money here. Do I just take profit here, or what would be your play?
Look, you never go broke with taking profits. So maybe it's wise to take a profit now. Just do not round trip that money, and then yeah. yeah, we all have some experiences with that, and I'm just gonna say that it never hurts to take profit.
Gotcha. Connor, you got any questions for these guys? Anything?
Yeah, if you guys don't mind, like I guess in your own words or summary, could you guys sum up exactly what you guys do? And yeah, even anything new you guys have been building, working on. I'd love to just hear from you guys.
Yeah, so we're trying to build sort of like the hyperliquid or drift protocol, I guess, of like the Bitcoin L2 ecosystem. We use a synthetic model, so we don't have to deal with like order books or actually like holding any of these like assets. So basically, we're able to onboard any asset within 24 hours from any chain, and this kind of puts us in like the unique position where if like you're on some of these L2s coming up that are preparing to have their incentive programs, et cetera, and you want leverage exposure to like so any of these like base meme coins or any sort of like meme coins that are launching on any of these new ecosystems, you'd have leverage exposure to them without actually having to leave like your preferred Bitcoin L2. And yeah, we have like a bunch of plans built out. Like we're working on vaults, we're working on referral programs, potentially our own incentive system as well. Yeah, and overall, I think we're just like trying to create like the most performant perp decks on Bitcoin L2s.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. No, that's awesome. I like that. Very cool.
Yeah, man. These guys have been building for a while, man, and we're playing on their testnet for a while, and it's definitely a phenomenal place. Highly recommend everyone at least trying it. I mean, like I said before, potential some goodies for doing that. So we're really excited. But I'd love to give you guys some last words before we go start Murion.
Yeah, so prepare lock in now. It's a risk-on scenario potentially, and let's print some money.
Lock in, baby, lock in.
Yes,
Instant.
Yeah, let's print some money. So yeah, big news coming soon. We're preparing for mainnet, and it's gonna be we're gonna be coming out the gates with some big things. So just stay prepared.
Hell yeah, man. All right, guys, it was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
You guys enjoy.
See you guys.
Yeah, have a good one.
Absolutely awesome. We talk to these guys every week, man. They're one of our partners, so everyone check out Artura.finance, man. But this has been absolutely awesome, Connor, man. I really appreciate you and you coming on and helping me out today while Yagubi is on vacation, man. But I would love to give you maybe some last words and maybe some stuff that you're bullish on as well, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, good question. I'd say bullish. Like we talked about earlier, definitely BitTensor. That has been one of the main coins during this downturn. I personally have been adding to just slowly and steady. And yeah, I guess just be on the lookout for up and coming narratives that you may not understand now, you might not fully see yet, but focus your attention where attention isn't. That's my biggest advice, I think, to anyone listening, anyone in crypto. This front running attention is absolutely key in this market, no matter how you do it. But I guess that'd be some of my final words. But for you, man, I appreciate you having me on too. It's been dope talking to you because we've been messaging in DMs for so long. That's crazy. So I appreciate you having me on.
No problem, dude. And like we'd love to have you on, me and Yagubi together. And if you're ever interested in coming on the live streams, just seriously send me a DM like, yo, let me come on this week, and I'll we'll have you on definitely probably that day. Honestly, it's been a pleasure, man. I love picking your brain about stuff that like maybe I'm not not looking at, or that's kind of my problem. It's kind of what you said is paying attention to things that people aren't paying attention to, and I'm kind of one of those people who I kind of go with the crowd, and sometimes I have to figure out what's the crowd coming to next, and that's something that I definitely watch your channel for. And guys, I want you guys to all go follow Connor here. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel as well. Absolutely awesome, man, and I'm really looking forward to your next video. And just thank you again, man. Brother.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.
Awesome. All right.
Absolutely awesome, guys. Connor is absolutely amazing. Really appreciate him kind of taking the time out and really helping us out here. And if you guys wouldn't mind, go and check out some of our partners here. You got Emblem Vault. I want you guys to go check out Agent Hustle. Agent Hustle is probably the #1 place to go trade Solana tokens. If you guys are interested in checking out Agent Hustle, go over to agenthustle.ai. And this will take you to this amazing thing here. And you guys can check out everything that Emblem Vault offers with Agent Hustle. And just remember, they have that bridging platform that's coming soon as well. So definitely check out that. And then, guys, go and check out our BetPTC. These guys are building something really awesome as well. They're building a predictions market on, it's kind of on ICP, but it's kind of going to be on other places as well. So definitely want to go check out everything that they're building at betptc.win. And remember, we're going to have Wager Wednesday tomorrow. We check out their site. They have this awesome thing called Blitz. Definitely check out the Blitz markets, guys. It's definitely something really awesome and really looking forward to that. And if you guys, check out Artura. We had them on the show today. Absolutely amazing guys. Go check out Artura.finance. Again, potential airdrop, guys, for not only the Artura token, but also the Hemi token as well. Definitely check out that. Really appreciate you guys doing that. Fluid tokens. These guys are building so much in Bitcoin. So if you guys had your Fluid passes staked, go get your FLDT rune. The FLTT rune is now live, guys. It is officially live. So just click their Bitcoin tab. Go, I claimed mine yesterday. It's really simple. Really, I was going to make a video on it, but it was really that simple. You come here, claim rewards, and then what that'll do is that'll give you all your passes back, like I got all mine, and give you your FLDT tokens as well. Check out everything here at fluidtokens.com. They also have the Cardano site and the Bitcoin site. These guys are building so much. Their staking vaults are coming. They're going to have another staking vault for dog. As you see, I locked up 400,000 dog here, and I'm going to be getting 20% APY on that in about 34 days. Looking forward to that. Check out everything at fluidtokens.com. Absolutely awesome what those guys are building, guys, and they're building DeFi on Bitcoin. And then also check out Merlin Chain. Merlin Chain, they're building the AI wizard. These guys, Jeff, man, who's on the show yesterday, absolutely awesome. They have some huge announcement coming this week. You're definitely going to want to be a part of that if you can. And, the wizard's going to be really awesome. You're just going to be able to do everything that you want talking to an AI all through the Merlin Chain. So anything you do on Merlin Chain in the future, you're going to be talking to an AI to do it for you. And that's including bridging. You're going to be able to bridge your assets from Bitcoin just talking to an AI agent and giving him, or, you guys have to accept the contract addresses and make sure everything's correct. But definitely really awesome. Check out merlinchain.io for that. And our integrated partners, Foxy AI. I'm going to be doing a gaming later today. We're going to be messing around with Foxy's gaming metaverse, the Bitverse. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Don't miss that. That's going to be in around 3 p.m. Eastern time today. So check that out. And Ordinal Hive, they're building the fastest Ordinal platform out there, guys. If you have a platform and you want to get them to integrate Ordinals for you, they can do it for you guys. You can use their back end with your front end and potentially aggregated ordinals on your site as well. So check out everything at ordinalhive.io as well, guys. And we are check out our website, guys, if you guys have time. It's onchainrevolution.io. We got some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and code up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, NordVPN, guys, check it out. It's my favorite. I've just been messing with now. It can check your computer for malware. It can check your computer for all types of stuff. It can actually stop you from going to websites that are have malicious intentions. So there's some sites now it won't let me go to because it's just like, nah, don't go here. I can turn it off and go to that site if I still want to, but it's kind of giving me that feature that says, this is not a trusted site. So definitely check out everything with NordVPN. Right now you get a 70% off coupon. If you guys are interested, you guys can click that or here. So it's 74%. Definitely check that out, guys, because do not pay the $10 a month. It's I think I paid $3 for the year. So check that out. Everything here. And if you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But do not wait till May to get your tickets, guys. Time is running out. Get them as soon as possible. The prices just keep going up and up. In May, you're going to see the prices just go absolutely rapid, guys. Check everything out here at onchainrevolution.io. And if you need merch for that event or any event, click our merch store. That'll take you to our third-party Shopify, where you guys can check out everything here. The Ordinal Revolution shirt is coming down forever. Will be able to buy that shirt again, but people that do have it will be considered OGs. So shout out and check out everything here at onchainrevolution.io. And guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. And until tomorrow, peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.